Just got to Race Ready Garage. This is the first time that Nigel's seeing it. We're gonna take it for a test drive before Nigel checks the whole thing because I want him to look at a couple problems first. You have a C5. You just got it?
Yeah.
Shout out C5 gang right here.
C5 Club. Good spot to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be modding his over the winter. We're filming this in the fall, but you guys will be seeing this in the spring. The biggest thing that I have a problem with this car is the shifter. So I just want you to drive this and let me know what you think of it.
Okay.
What the potential problem is, and some other vibrations and things going on. I just want your opinion before we get it up on the hoist.
Sounds good.
Okay, Nigel, feel around. Tell me what you're feeling so far.
So it feels notchier than normal.
Yeah.
But just knowing these things, it definitely feels
like
like
you're putting in max effort. Like that's how I have to shift this.
Yeah. Now part of that I can feel in here. This thing has a short shifter, so I'm wondering if it's got like an MGW or a tick or something.
Okay.
That will make the shifts a little more positive to engage, we'll say. Not necessarily harder. It shouldn't be harder to engage. It's hard to say if it's a notchiness.
Yeah.
Or because it's not grinding at all. Or
right now it's not. Yeah.
But it does grind a bit.
It grinds a bit when I'm driving around and I'm not careful with the clutch and putting it in, and I feel like it doesn't fully engage. Sometimes it does grind first and second, but I have to be very careful and kind of like really force it into gear sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it won't grind if I drive it normally and carefully.
Okay. And that clutch is
Mondo
stiff.
And I have a C6. Yeah, and I have a C6, and it does not feel like anything like this.
No.
You've got a C5. You've driven countless C5s and C6s. What does this feel like compared to all the other ones you've driven or sat in?
As far as Corvettes go, this is hands down one of the stiffest clutches I felt in one of these. And so if it's just because of it's an aftermarket clutch, I don't know what clutch it is.
Right.
Because anything that you've been able to buy for the last decade, anyways, doesn't feel like that.
So the owner told me that the clutch was done at 160K, and now it's got 216,000. Okay. So that might have been like 2 owners ago.
Yeah.
So the previous owner, I think, owned it for 10 years or 12 years. So it would have, like you said, it would have been some other...
An old, yeah. Parts have come a long way. So it could just be something that's old and robust.
Yep.
But I mean, let's go around the block and see how it feels.
Yeah. Get it into reverse if you can. Okay, so we're feeling some vibrations right now.
Yeah, so...
What are you feeling?
I can feel it through the shifter. You can feel it through the car a little bit.
Yep.
My initial thought is, obviously this has got an aftermarket clutch. This is likely going to be an unbalanced flywheel, or the clutch and flywheel aren't put together right. Like it goes up with engine RPM.
Yes.
Yeah, it's directly tied to RPM.
That's right.
So, I mean, assuming the engine hasn't been rebuilt, which I kind of doubt it has, and therefore wasn't balanced properly, then it's likely going to be a clutch issue.
Okay.
Which isn't necessarily a problem.
Right.
Even some new, better clutches that we install, every once in a while you get a little bit of a shake from them.
Okay.
Even if the clutch is balanced, sometimes it's just the combination of that clutch and that particular motor going together, not phased up properly, and you'll get a little bit of a vibration. So nothing concerning feeling.
That's good.
But it's there.
Yes, and I knew the clutch was a problem. I just don't know if it's related to all the other things.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna do the clutch, that's fine, and that solves 90% of what we're feeling right now. That's cool. You rip it if you want. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'd say that's gonna be in the clutch.
Okay.
Feels healthy. It's a little ticky.
It is.
But I don't think that's an engine tick. I think that may have been a bit of an exhaust tick.
There is an exhaust leak.
Okay.
I looked underneath and I saw some water at the connection at the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This guy knows what he's talking about. That's why I'm here at Race Ready Garage. And you guys will obviously look underneath it now. We'll get it back to the shop and we'll see what's going on here.
Actually, we'll just go straight here. All right. Those brakes need to be done.
Yes, the brakes do. I've got a list of things that I've already figured out that will be ordered and repaired. And then as we go through things today, we'll probably add to that list.
Yeah, start the list. Got to start somewhere. So.
Yeah. So we'll see if we can do the first mods today by possibly trying to fix this shifter. We'll see if we get lucky. We're gonna try and change, I think, the transmission fluid.
I think it's worth doing the fluid. The transmission it hasn't ground on me yet.
Yes.
It doesn't feel terrible. I think part of that notchiness is just going to be a really short throw shifter in combination with older synchros.
Yeah, okay.
You know, whether it's worth rebuilding the transmission because of that or not, we'll have to see.
Oh, I feel like I just need to destroy this thing, like drifting it first and then replace
right?
it. Let me have some fun out of what I just bought.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get this thing back. All right, so Nigel's backing in here. Here's Dave. Dave has a C6. So between Nigel and Dave, I have both cars, C6, C5. And we got Ben over here. This is Dave's son. He's working on his, what kind of ATV is this? Baja. Nice. What are you doing on it? Tuning it up? 1,000 horsepower? Oh, you're gonna paint it. That's why you got all the panels off. Nice, that's cool. Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because that's Dave's car. This is Dave's C6. Look at this thing. And check out this cool bumper that Dave has. Huh, what generation is this front end? All right, let's get this thing up here. Let's see what's going on. Hood's popped. What's the first thing you want to look at? There is one thing that I do want to mention before you start poking around.
Yep.
There's a squeal on startup.
Okay.
And it continuously goes away until the car warms up.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Probably going to be that balancer.
Okay,
Just
so there's a balancer. Okay, can you explain the balancer problem?
Yeah, so basically every LS1, LS6, and LS2, realistically, it's a two-piece balancer. The two halves are vulcanized together,
okay,
and the rubber fails on every single one of them.
Perfect. Was there a recall or anything on that one? Because I thought I read something about a recall. I could be wrong.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
It's not impossible,
Yeah.
but I mean, we do them like almost weekly.
All right.
It's just one of those things. We've kind of got it down to a science. If you've got a LS1, LS6, or LS2 powered car, expect to do the balancer.
Okay. And that's like way down there, right? That's what I'm trying to get on this side.
This guy way at the bottom there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right there.
Oh, it looks a little rusty.
So, looks original.
Yeah, oh, okay. So we'll definitely have to do that. Okay, so what's the first thing you want to poke around at?
There's not a whole lot we need to look at under the hood here. I mean...
Shifter problems aside, just general condition of this Corvette.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing we always look at is the balancer. Any C5, the first things we're always going to check, balancer and ABS. The ABS modules are extremely problematic on these.
And that's back over on this side.
That's this guy here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
This shiny silver thing right there. So mine, as far as I understand, works because I don't have any lights on and my ABS works.
Yeah, so you got one of the rare ones.
Okay.
That'll change in time.
Yes. Actually.
But we're probably going to end up removing that, I'm assuming.
Yes. So this is a drift car build, and that means I don't really need ABS. And that's part of the ABS system that we're going to be deleting. So that's airbags, ABS, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Traction control, gone.
Basically anything safety related.
Yes. yeah. Or if you're watching this video from some sort of agency, I'm keeping all that.
You are the ABS now.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, so we'll be figuring that out because if I do end up doing a hydro brake, that's going to tee off into this if I don't do a separate reservoir and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
So this is the clutch fluid.
See how this, well, that's...
Okay.
Okay, so the fluid's really clean, like
Yeah.
abnormally clean.
That is kind of scary.
It's making me think that maybe this has a speed bleed on it because these are notoriously difficult to flush through. That said, it's super gross in there.
That's what I was like there's sediment in there.
Yeah, it's nasty looking. Okay. So I feel like possibly this was done not long before you purchased it, just to see if they could get that clutch feeling a little nicer, maybe.
I honestly had a feeling that this guy was pulling some moves like that, so I wouldn't put it past. Oh boy, that looks.
Yeah, we're gonna want to do that.
Okay. So that's my brake fluid. Holy! Is this original? Can I sell this Corvette with original brake fluid? Yeah, left from the factory.
That adds value.
Oh boy, that is real bad.
Yeah.
Built on a Friday, one of one with original clutch fluid or brake fluid.
So.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh wow! I don't think have you seen darker fluid than this? I don't think I've ever
seen
that
some
in
pretty
my
bad
life.
fluid, but I mean, it only gets so dark, right?
Holy crap.
So-
Yeah, that's like they just put oil in there.
Coolant. It looks orange. I think it's orange in there. I think it's low.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not low. I'm gonna have to get a light on that to see what color that is. We definitely want Dex Coolant here.
Yeah, I haven't seen any leaks other than what I saw on my own hoist for oil, but I didn't see any coolant leaks.
Okay, yeah.
As far as I saw.
These jugs, as they get old, they start to discolor a little bit, and then it can be really tough to see the color of the fluid through the jug. Obviously, we're not going to open that right now.
Yep.
That would be a
No, we just went for a drive.
unpleasant surprise. But let me throw a light on there.
All right.
Oh, it's orange. That's great news. Okay. That's good.
Thank you, previous owner.
Looks like an original water pump. Or a very old one anyways. Yeah, that balancer's toast.
Oh, let's see if I can see
Without even seeing it spinning, I can see that the rubber's in on half of it.
Okay.
And then poking out in spots.
Yep.
So it's all starting to fall apart inside.
Perfect. So that's likely the culprit of the sound that I'm hearing.
Yeah, most likely. It's one of those things that it's going to need to be done anyways.
Yeah.
So do the balancer, put a fresh belt on it. If we're still having an issue from there, everything else is not really related to doing that job regardless.
Okay.
So
Water pump, is that something worth doing while we're in there kind of thing? I know it's not exactly why you're in there, but...
no, it's a tough call. I mean, if it works, it works.
There is some oil as well right
That
there.
said,
Like right where you're shining your light?
yeah, that's probably going to be coming from the PCV line here. Yeah, that said, I mean, this water pump's going to see sustained RPM.
Yes, it is.
So doing one while we've got it apart probably isn't the worst idea.
Yeah, okay.
We'll end up, we're going to want to do like at least like a thermostat.
Yes.
Get
Like
some
a
cooler-
lower temperature, 160 kind of thing. Yeah.
Lower the fan temps, cooler spark plugs,
Yep.
TR6 spark plugs.
Yep.
Just kind of get it ready for abuse.
Yes. All the general maintenance stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, with that said, we'll probably want to just do the pump.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's add that to the list.
Yep.
We're going to be changing that intake as well.
Yeah.
You guys have a little bit of a secret sauce one that you like to go with for cheaper builds, because I'm trying to keep this fairly cheap.
Yeah.
Fairly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's, I mean, these cars respond really well to intake and exhaust mods.
Perfect.
You know, when you're ready to
Do a
long-term
cam.
headers. Well, that for sure.
Yeah,
But first step is always before the cam even. We got to get there in and out.
Yeah.
So typically on a C5, getting more air in, getting more air out, and a tune, you're good for like 40 wheel horsepower. So it's a pretty significant increase.
Perfect. That'll get me like right around that 400 horsepower crank area.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So cam from there starts to really unlock power. You're not going to want, probably not going to want to go for like a big cam because we want mid-range in this still.
Yeah, we'll see.
So-
I kind of need chop though. we'll open that can of worms if we need to.
yeah.
I know what you're saying. You are right, but man, do I want chop. I've had it in the C6, C06, and I'm ruined now.
Yeah.
We'll
you
figure
went
that out.
right.
Yeah, I went
from
right to the
maximum
top, and now I'm
for the beginning,
scaling
so.
down. So pretty healthy looking engine for the most part.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
considering the mileage.
yeah, for the mileage, it's super clean. I don't see anything overly concerning right off the bat. I can see somebody's been in here, done some work in the past, just vacuum lines routed a little different than stock,
Okay.
and a couple small things like that. But
That's the best part of taking it to you guys, because you do so many Corvettes, you notice little things like that.
yeah, so. But yeah, I don't see anything too bad.
So we got it up in the air. Anything you're noticing?
This looks very Corvette.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So I thought that it was coming from like this housing. Is that like a normal?
It's kind of all back here.
Yes.
I don't see a whole lot up from the front, which is good. So yeah, it's probably going to be where the oil pressure or the oil temperature sensor sits there. Super easy thing to replace anyways, the gasket in there. Clean everything off, replace that, and if the leak's gone, it's gone.
So here's what I was thinking, because I want to put an oil cooler on this thing,
Yep.
and from the systems that I saw, they tap in right here. So you replace that thing,
Yes.
and then it kind of tees off and sends lines to the front.
Yep.
So I guess we don't have to fix this right now. We could fix it when we do the oil cooler.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If we're gonna do a cooler on it, then
Yep.
yeah, that would be the time to do it.
Perfect.
And I mean, it's not impossible. This pan's leaking.
Yeah.
Just LSs in general are kind of bad for pan leaks.
Okay.
It's not the end of the world to fix.
I think I'm just spoiled with my
So.
C6. E6 that's had no leaks, no problems, nothing wrong with it at all.
You don't have the split pan.
Is that good or bad?
Well, we were thinking
Because I do want to put like a baffle or something.
yeah, the baffles are a lot easier to do in the split pans.
Oh, okay.
Where you can just take the bottom off. So that's, I'll see if the kits are available for the enclosed ones like this, like
Okay.
the full pan. I mean, there's still always going to be options, even if we swap the pan in the future.
Right.
It'd be a good idea considering, you know, it's going to be sustained
Yes.
sideways G's.
So, I think for those of you that don't know, putting a baffle in is going to probably save the motor for the most part, because
Yeah.
it's not going to allow the oil to slosh around, and it's going to kind of keep it where the pickup is.
Yep.
So that's why I want to definitely put a baffled oil pan or some sort of baffle in there.
Yeah, we'll want to do something with it. But yeah,
Okay.
kind of cross that bridge when we get there.
Yep.
Everything else up here looks okay.
I think I saw one more part when I was looking at it that was wet. Somewhere, yeah, right up there. Somewhere up there that was like shiny. Is it right through the right side there? Sorry, like right over there, I think? Yeah, right there. That.
Oh.
Whatever that is.
That's the steering rack.
Yeah, that's
So, yeah, it does. Looks like it's probably coming from the rack itself.
okay.
So, not the end of the world.
So we'll probably want to replace the rack, considering the age and what I'm going to be doing with this.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea.
I don't know how cheap a rack is, but
It's more an issue of finding one. They're generally not priced too bad.
Okay.
Doing them is a pain.
Okay.
But you know, if we're going to be pulling some stuff apart on the front here to do the balancer and whatnot, that would be the time
Yeah.
to do the rack.
exactly. Okay.
So that's not the end of the world. We'll want to start looking for that sooner than later. Get our hands on one,
Yep.
and then we've got it, right? So
It's a good thing I'm here in the fall.
yeah, we got some time to plan this out. So.
Hey, it's like I'm planning a build properly for the first time. Okay, but yeah, that's all I saw, I think.
Yeah, nothing else under here looks concerning.
That's good. Is this exhaust original, or was this welded on like the H pipe after the cats?
No, that's all stock
Oh,
stuff.
okay. I just saw like the texture of it. I thought it was for some reason different.
Yeah, it's
The
No,
O2
it's-
sensors are part of the check engine light. So we'll figure those out.
yeah. We'll get
Let's
that
put
all
it that
sorted out. No, this is all stock. This has been repaired several times from the looks of it.
I didn't even look
or
at that.
once,
Oh, yeah, okay.
questionably.
And it's still leaking here. So,
Yeah. Well, these are really bad for splitting here, so that's no surprise at all.
Okay. We'll get
no,
a
I
full
mean,
exhaust on it.
yeah, it
Just have to
doesn't
figure
look
out
too
which
bad.
one.
Whatever's budget friendly.
Yes. We're going to try and do this as budget friendly as possible.
And yeah, got a transmission leak.
So is that trans or diff?
Well, it's
Because I
it's
couldn't
trans.
tell. Okay.
Yeah, it's trans. Well, for one, it doesn't make you gag.
Right, good
It's
call.
not gear oil.
That's right.
But you can see it's got a little bit of a pink hue. It's kind of hard to see through the dirt.
Yeah.
But it's more pink than diff fluid would be. It's also not overly thick.
Here's a scary thought. Have we been driving with no fluid, considering this is leaking?
We were
And
talking about that.
that might be the problem.
Well, I think we're gonna drop the drain plug on this and see what's in there, what shape it's in,
Yeah.
and how much there is. Hopefully some.
Oh, please be some. Actually, honestly, I kind of hope there's nothing, because that would be the problem.
Well, we want a little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, again, nothing too concerning back here. The leak is probably going to be it looks like they've tried to repair this. Is this silicone or is this dirt? No, that's silicone.
So somebody's been in here playing around.
Yeah. But, you know, that's one of those things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if we
If we have to pull the tranny one day, it'll
Yeah.
get dealt with. If not, we might just keep cleaning it up.
Yep. So if we do the clutch in the spring, this is all coming down because the torque tube is all over there connecting to the engine right there. So all of that has to come down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull one of the covers off in front of the flywheel. See if I can get a camera in there and see what the clutch is.
Yep.
These do have an inspection cover, which is really nice.
Took the cover off, which is right there.
This guy here.
Okay.
It's not the most ideal way to check one of these, but you can see big aftermarket iron flywheel.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me see if I can zoom in. This is a pretty tight space, but yeah, okay.
So that almost for sure is going to be that driveline shake.
Okay.
Like I was saying, some of those big aftermarket iron guys just don't have the nicest, don't spin the true, I shouldn't say spin the truest, but aren't always balanced perfectly.
Okay.
Especially if it's separate to the clutch. Like you can buy them as an assembly sometimes. Sometimes it's just an aftermarket flywheel paired with a clutch.
Yep.
And they do tend to shake just like that.
Okay.
So
I don't like that, so I would like to do a clutch based on just the flywheel alone, considering I'm going to be at higher RPMs all the time.
yeah, exactly. That's hard on the drivetrain too, right?
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't be
Hard on
surprised
the
if-
bearings in the engine, the torque tube, all of it suffers. So.
Yeah, and like the balancer, like I'm sure
Yeah.
that's not helping. Okay, so you got a little camera scope here.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll be able to see here, but
Hey, you got a cool tool. We gotta use it. All right, so you're shoving it in there, and let's see what we see on the camera.
okay. So
Is that like a red clutch that I can see?
I'd say it's orange.
Oh yeah, because the light. It's kind of hard to tell.
I don't know what it is just by looking at it. It does look like a stock slave cylinder in there,
Okay.
which again, I'm thinking that that really heavy pedal is just going to be because of this clutch.
Yeah.
So I see one disc. I don't think there's a second disc in there. I think this is just a really heavy. Oh, what's this up in there? No, I think it's just a really heavy single disc clutch.
Okay.
It's going to be ceramic.
Yep.
That chatter, it's just that,
Yeah.
that telltale ceramic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just going to
So
be.
it's a heavy duty clutch.
Yeah.
But it's like,
It probably takes some abuse.
Yeah.
But it doesn't drive nice.
No, it doesn't.
It's not nice to use,
No.
considering you're going to be kicking that clutch a lot.
yeah.
That's going to be worth doing for sure.
Okay.
So
so let's just say clutch, yes, 100%. We're doing it.
yeah,
And yeah, because
clutch flywheel combo.
Yeah, because this thing's gonna live at 7,000 or whatever you guys will allow me to rev to. Maybe 6,000. Let's keep it realistic.
Well, we'll have to get a big cam in there for that. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So at least we know that.
All right, well, let's get some fluid out of this.
Here we go. Moment of truth. What's with the form?
Something.
Okay, it is ripping, and it is red.
And it's metallic. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper.
Uh-oh, metallic-y. Hey, there's lots of fluid in there. Kind of looks pretty good to me.
Doesn't look terrible.
Metal shavings test.
Yeah, you want to get it right as it's coming out, but it's
Yeah.
hard with those plugs. It's not terrible.
No, I don't see like shimmering or anything.
It doesn't smell terrible.
There's actually plenty of fluid in there.
Yeah.
All right, so this isn't gonna
It's
be the
not-
easiest. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty dark.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
You know, seen worse,
Yeah,
but it's not what we want to see coming
No.
out ideally.
And when we do the clutch, we'll have to do this again anyways, but this is just kind of like a let's see what we're dealing with fluid flush.
Yeah, if we can get a little bit more life out of this transmission.
Yes, please. Because these are fairly, I mean, not that they're cheap, but they're also not the most expensive. It's probably what, like $2,000 for a used one?
2,000 to 3,000.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, let's save this one.
Yeah, if we can, it would be more ideal for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna drive this one until the fluid coming out looks like a shimmering, shiny rainbow. There we go. New fluid in. So this is now looking super clean. We'll be able to see if anything else is leaking. What's going on inside here?
So this style can receive either a C6 or a C5 shifter. That's the
Interesting.
wedge for the factory C5 knob.
Okay.
They just kind of, these ones aren't threaded from factory, but they've just kind of jammed this one on and threaded itself. And I mean, it worked. It was actually on there pretty sturdy.
It was decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could still spin it a little bit, but it was
Yeah.
It was fine. Okay, so it is some sort of aftermarket one, obviously, because it can accept both. This console comes apart pretty easily.
They're not too bad.
That's the good thing about 90s GM and Ford and all those products. Everything's just like a couple bolts. There's the whole thing apart in a matter of 3 minutes.
Oh,
I got it.
thanks, buddy. Doesn't look like MGW, but it does look a little crusty.
Yeah. What is with that red bundle of wires?
Mystery wire.
Oh boy. Wonder, because there's an amp in the back.
I wonder if it's to do with the audio system.
That's this obviously
Yeah,
has a screen,
Yeah.
so that would go to your reverse lights for a reverse camera.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a B&M.
There we go.
Okay.
B&M, I'm sorry, but just whatever this is, it doesn't feel good. I don't know if someone's messed with it. I don't know if it's old, but it does not feel good.
Oh, let's pull it out and see how it looks.
That's it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. A little bit gritty.
So more of a
think
clutch
that's-
thing, likely to be the major problem.
Well, no, I still think it's going to be the transmission itself, the
Oh, yeah.
hard shifts. Yeah, it's really hard to say until,
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things. We're going to do a clutch regardless.
Yep.
If this one's still shifting, it'd be worth
It is.
popping the clutch in and
Yeah.
see if that makes a difference. But I feel like that transmission itself is just probably coming up inside, making things a little more stiff.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'll try and drive it more because the guy didn't drive it that much in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been sitting, I think he only put 10,000 kilometers in like 10 years.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right.
So, yeah, worth putting some kilometers on. But this doesn't feel great. I'm going to pop the top off and throw
Yeah,
some
okay.
fresh lube in there either way.
All right. All right. So you got this thing apart. Anything remarkable?
No, I mean, ideally, I'd like to pull this back cap off because you can pack that with grease.
Okay.
It's kind of dry in there, but those guys are not budging. And I know from experience with these, if I try too hard, they're going to snap.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
so we're
Okay.
just going to do what we can with it
Yep.
and put it together.
Okay.
And, see how it goes from there. Hope the fluid helped a little bit.
All right. Change of plans. Nigel just found a stock C5 shifter. So now we're going to take apart the stock C5 shifter and see what's going on here and potentially just use this one rather than the aftermarket B&M.
Yeah, you'll get, at the very least, you'll get a lot more leverage out of the shifter. So it might make
Might make it feel it.
finding gear a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that. This is why you come to Race Ready Garage, because they just have random parts laying around from old other Corvettes.
So Nigel's putting in the stock C5 shifter, which already looks immensely taller than what was in there. Which honestly, I don't mind whatsoever. I think that's actually going to help me.
Yeah, I think the leverage might make a big difference in this particular situation.
Yeah.
If the trannies, you know, if everything's as it's supposed to be in there, they're not overly difficult. So like the extra leverage doesn't normally make much difference.
Yeah.
But we'll see what it does here.
And then there's going to be a big old hydro brake right here, right over here.
Do you want a really cool flame shift knob?
Yeah. Did you just say flames?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please. I mean, the stock C6 one is cool, but if you have a flame shift knob.
I can't remember what, I think it's threaded. I'll go take a look.
Oh, buddy.
It'll be pretty funny.
This is the upgrade of the series right here, make or break. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh my goodness. Think we may have fixed my transmission issue. This feels... This is it. Hopefully. This feels way too good. This is exactly how this transmission is supposed to feel. Hopefully. Gonna do road testing. Dude, this feels like $1 million.
It's much better.
This is like there's no problem getting in any gear. Nothing. This is perfect. No. Oh my. Yes. 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 Yep. Red Loctite, please. This is never coming off.
Perfect.
Yes. All right. We'll see. Maybe we'll change that in the future, but I mean,
I feel like it needs to be in there.
yeah, look at that.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Amazing.
All right.
Heck yeah. So I just drove with my new flame shift knob and fixed all my problems. The flame shift knob specifically.
It was definitely just the shift knob.
No, I'm not kidding though. This shifts incredibly. Like it's literally perfect. Like it's perfect. There's no problem with it anymore.
That's awesome.
Whoever put that previous one in here, I don't know how that guy was driving with this at all.
Seriously.
Because it doesn't grind at all now. Like it's
yeah.
it's perfect. And I get a flame shift knob. Wow.
Most important.
Okay, and so this is a stock C5 shifter.
Yes.
And you mentioned that C5 guys upgrade to C6 shifters.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so
And that's a C6 shift knob. We modified that shifter so that it could take that.
yeah.
So, I mean, getting a C6 shift assembly. I'll
Yep.
keep my eye out for one. When I've got one come through, I'll let you know.
Okay.
They're just a little tighter. They feel a little nicer than those. The bushings on that one are in particularly bad shape.
Right.
So we'll just upgrade to a C6 shift assembly.
Yep.
Call it done.
Dude. Oh, thank you so much. Like you literally
No
fixed
worries.
this Corvette. Like I hated it. I thought I needed a transmission.
This is great news.
Yes. Oh.
Awesome.
Oh my God, what a relief. Okay.
Right
All right.
on.
Well, that wraps up this video.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Really
my
appreciate
pleasure.
it. My God, guys, bring your cars here, right here. Race Ready Garage, right here. This place. Oh man, I'm so excited. All right. So now we are going to plan out the whole build. This wasn't a build video or anything like that. This was just like, let's just
Getting
see
the car
what's
drivable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to use the winter to plan out the whole build. We're going to do basically everything. We're still going to do all the general maintenance and all that stuff on top of all the modifications that we're going to do.
Yep.
Figure out the order of operations when we're going to do all that stuff. But I anticipate all of this starting in March. So hopefully the videos start rolling in March or April. And then I get to go drifting in April or May whenever the weather gets cold or warmer. Because
Warm,
it's
yeah,
about to
yeah.
get cold.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. And you guys are all watching this in spring. You're like, what the heck are you talking about? All right. Well,
Awesome.
thanks for watching. And I'm looking forward to planning out this build.
Oh, yeah. It's
All
going
right.
to be fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
All righty.